feel lonely with every step that I take. I don't feel good and my body starts to shake. I fell in love with a girl, I haven't seen her met so far. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the only one who sees what they say it takes to be a man and what a man can be. It's all a lie, it's all a fraud. They only feed you with what they're being fed. Sometimes I still feel it's all so dull. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. 'Cause someday I'll leave this place, even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. Well, it makes me lose my mind, but I don't get it why everybody's moving so fast and I'm not even blinking with an eye. But I don't want your badge, I don't need no gun. I'd rather bleed truth than feel misunderstood. Sometimes I still feel it's all so dull. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. Someday I'll leave this place, even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. Someday I'll leave this place, even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. Don't run away.
Bring me to the valley of peace. Spare my heart and I'll reach to the end of the road. Release me from the chains of my mind. Pain I cannot define pierces me all the way down. 'Cause all I ever want is you. Even sometimes I realize that nothing feels right. Only you, you give me heaven. Only you got my attention. All the pressure in my life and all the stress I can't deny, it fills me up each time. Only you, you give me heaven. Only you got my attention. Oh, the pressure in my life and all the stress I can't deny. It fills me up each time. Go away, you devil, set me free. Take the darkness when you leave. Let my...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Final Rites, a lovely little all-tiefling campaign hosted by yours truly, Jason Catrone, at JustJasonPlease on Twitter. Oh, so happy to be here today with my lovely cast, and so overjoyed to return to the Final Rites, a lovely little steamboat / soul-powered monstrosity
The steamboat
that
to
traipses
hell.
along. Yeah, that traipses along the river Styx on the orders of neutral parties, devilish and demon alike. Before we get into the session proper, I suppose it would be nice if we were to introduce the marvelous cast that I'm privileged to be with, beginning with the ever interesting.
Can't wait for this adjective.
Yeah, ever interestingly played. I can't words at the moment. Heavenly, please talk. Save me.
Hello, yes. Hello, yes, my name is Heavenly. I play Nowhere, a tiefling in the all-tiefling campaign. Not much of a shocker, but there it is. Those are just the facts. Nowhere is a rogue, an inquisitive rogue, a pink rogue who is tailored daily to look sharp and fresh, and she loves Goop. It's her favorite website. Anytime you see Nowhere, she probably has some type of crystal. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's the type of person she is. But I'm Heavenly, and I'm playing her, and that's my intro. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The G.
I love you
stands
all.
for Gork.
Yeah, Goop is a Gork to Orc subsidiary.
It's a lifestyle brand.
He has his fingers in a lot of pots. So he also makes. He also does like a Sephora called Gaphora.
No.
Yes, Gaphora is canon.
We haven't started the intro yet. Anything that happens before the intro doesn't count.
I'm supposed to carry this for the next 3 hours? Excuse me?
We will carry it for the next 3 hours. You just take a back seat. We'll handle the game.
I appreciate it. You know what?
We're shopping.
Don't
trips.
sue us, Sephora.
Don't sue us, Sephora, Goop, or literally any company that we mention. Please. We have nothing of interest here.
We haven't even started. My face hurts.
All right. There's one intro down. I fear for the other two, but still. Angela, since you've volunteered, go ahead. Just go ahead, please.
Hold on,
Please.
I have to stop smiling. Hi, my name is Angela. I play Jovi. That's right. Jovi, another tiefling in this all tiefling party. She is a mixologist, which is a custom class that we've altered. Comes from the gastronome class, so she makes delectable drinks for people that happen to do magic stuff. So that'll be fun. Yeah, that is my job. I keep. No, I'm not gonna say that. I keep everyone's glasses full when Joey's around.
Okay, that's not bad. And you didn't mention Gork once. I'm surprised.
Didn't.
I haven't even met Gork yet.
Yeah, no, that's very true. But
when do I get Gork, Kucha?
Gork is my friend.
Oh, sorry. Jovi used to part-time work at a bistro called TGI Good Fridays.
I think we lost our DM.
And our producer.
I think it was actually called TGIF. Thank Gork, it's Friday.
There you go.
Excuse me while I resituate my microphone.
And by resituate, he means throw it across the room. Rachel, tag you're it.
Rachel, tag you're it. Who would Gork be reading if ever you were to be found in the same presence of this very, very good character that we definitely came up with thought and intention?
Gork would be meeting Mercy, who I am playing, who is also a surprising thing. And she is a Drunken Master monk. And since we've been ordered to go to the elemental plane of fire, I thought I would very accurately cosplay my character in that I'm definitely wearing a fire blanket right now. And it is not just a cozy, snug blanket because I'm tired.
I was like, Rachel, are you drunk? That's not what you mean by you're in character right now.
It's totally in character.
Method, just very method.
Yeah.
But it's a lovely fire blanket, and we're so happy to have you here. We're so happy to have every single one of you here. As I said at the top, my name's Jason. Follow me. Please save me if you can. But
No, there's no saving. We're
No
already
saving.
live.
Yeah, I suppose. But more than happy to be here. More than happy to be at the behest of this lovely group. Before anything, however, we have other patrons to thank for sponsorship of this disaster of a program. In particular, two that come to mind most apparently. One being Die Hard Dice, a lovely little dice company. Well, I don't know how little. That's sort of demeaning.
They're very accomplished. They make
A very
beautiful dice.
accomplished and artisan-like organization that just puts out these amazing products. I think for Pride Month, actually, they released a series of dice that were actually in the colors of the Pride flag. Just absolutely stellar work. The craftsmanship is through the roof. I cannot speak highly enough of their praises. If you're looking for wonderful metal dice at just the most affordable price around, you can actually go to dieharddice.com or what?
Dieharddice.com.
Dieharddice.com to actually order yourself a little bit of a gift for whatever dice bag or dice container you might be carrying, even if it is a Folgers coffee can or something like that.
I will say, just as someone who follows Die Hard Dice, so I see their stuff that they've announced. They are coming out with some beautiful frosted metal dice in all the colors, in all the rainbow colors. They're selling Pride stickers right now, and 100% of those proceeds are going to the Trevor Project and GLSEN, who both provide LGBTQ plus services. And they will be donating 20% of all rainbow products purchased to those charities as well. I'm not sure if that's just the month of June or just in perpetuity, but that is really awesome. And if you like Die Hard Dice, you should go check out their rainbow sets that they've got. They've got really gorgeous designs.
Right,
metal and polymer.
And those are actually available for purchase currently, or is that for pre-order?
Let me check right now. If you go to dieharddice.com/pride, you can find more information.
Absolutely. So whether it's polymer, whether it's metal, if you're looking for high quality dice from a just fine group of folks, then you definitely should head over to dieharddice.com. And if you want to support LGBT plus charities during this month of Pride, go ahead and do the same URL /pride. So that you can not only beautify your dice collection, but also do some good in the process. Speaking of doing good, I guess World Anvil is doing pretty good.
They do
yeah,
very
they're doing
good work.
pretty good work. I would say that they do some of the goodest works around. Yeah.
Hey, that works. That works.
We'll say that works and then roll with it. But yeah, World Anvil, the second sponsor of this marvelous show. and just a program of imminent help to all creatives everywhere. If you are looking for the go-to notebook or world tracker for your creative endeavors, be it a D&D campaign, be it a novel, be it some sort of video game or other sort of creative endeavor that would require the construction of such a world, World Anvil is the best place that I have found, and the best place that my opinion is around. So lovely little program. It helps you organize the geography of the world, the religions, the major political factions, the creatures, just anything and everything that you could think of. You can try it for free, absolutely free. Just even the base features that they have are substantial and only indicative of the like faintest glimmer of possibility. If you want to fully unlock a plethora of features, it's only about like $5 some odd a month, like less than a extravagantly large cup of American coffee, I would say, and definitely worth every single penny. Like, to
Don't
be
buy that
perfectly
third
frank.
frappuccino.
Yeah, you don't
World
need
Anvil
it.
for a month.
Caffeine is bad for you. You have to just hydrate. Drink water in the morning. This has been your public health PSA from the most unlikely source on the internet.
Goop promotes a juice, an orcish juice.
No, it's just water. That's an orcish juice cleanse. It's just water.
I'm really concerned about their palate right now.
They're very health conscious. Like, they have to
I was
be.
trying to think of making a brand joke, but honestly, any joke that I make will just be a British brand that none of you guys get.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
You gotta
Somebody in the
reach
audience
out.
has to be,
The moment has passed.
attentive. The moment is past.
Perhaps
Oh.
later I'll surprise with a Gork the Orc British brand.
Perhaps later.
Do it.
Perhaps later.
And we have our World Anvil world for Final Rites. I put the link in the chat, but you can find us at worldanvil.com/w/final rites.
Yep.
So you can find a bunch of our information about the crew, about the Final Rites, about the River Styx. We're going to be adding more stuff as we go, and and then maybe talk a little bit about heroes.
I mean,
Do that as well.
I mean, if you want to do it, you can.
Sure.
Yeah.
So another facet of World Anvil that you can start using, because it just went live the last few weeks, is Heroes, which is essentially a social media platform for our characters that connect to our campaign in World Anvil. So all of our cool stuff can all be connected. You can check out our campaign at the link that I put in chat. And you can follow all of our characters. We're going to make random, we're going to shitpost. It'll be great. But yeah, you should follow us and go check out how super neat that is. We can put downtime and updates and stuff about what our characters are thinking at the time. So that's a very fun way to interact with the show as we play through our game.
Absolutely. And you, dear viewer, can also use Heroes if you have a World Anvil account. So
Yes, it's free to use.
Yeah, free to use and free to sort of mess around with whatever respective campaign or again creative endeavor that you are a part of. It's really just I've been averse to some other sort of programs similar to World Anvil, but only because I couldn't understand them. I couldn't really get into them, sink my teeth into it as much as I wanted to. No complaints from World Anvil for me personally. They are substantive, they are reliable, they are quick to respond. The men and women, the individuals behind them, just do an absolutely fantabulous job. I even recommend following their Twitter. They are just that good. Just my personal opinion, and definitely something worth checking out. So again, worldanvil.com, create a free account, see how you like it, and then be sure to upgrade to a guild membership because it is worth it. Like, really. But yeah, I cannot think of any other true plugs unless
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good to go.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
that's
so.
that's not prompting from our producer.
Yeah, no, that's
I'll be looking.
yeah. But yeah, and be sure to check out everybody and see whatever creative endeavors they're up to because it's a fun time. I suppose without further ado, it really is just time to say welcome aboard. Alrighty, a hearty thanks to our man behind the scenes, our producer, who's been more than devoted to this cause. Like Logan, just as a quick aside, just honestly, thank you for all the work that you've done. And yeah, before I get too sappy about it, let's get into the game proper. The transitory state of the final rites is in full display as just outside the windows of this magnificent vessel, you feel the heat begin to sink into the surroundings. You hear the winds that howl and crackle. Though they are subdued somewhat by the inherent nature of the final rites, it seems that most protective systems that function aboard this neutral ground still continue to function, probably with a redoubling of Eamon's efforts. Eamon Gallow Dodger being the keeper of the engines, you gotta keep it spick and span and able to withstand whatever may come. But most fortunately, the night has passed and now morning creeps in. Given the nature of our last session and where it was left off, I think it would be most pertinent to address the certain events that were undertaken by members of the party, in particular one such
Nowhere and her hour and 17-minute bedtime regimen. I agree.
That would be. I am sure the audience would love a real-time description of what exactly transpires.
Minute by minute, please.
Minute by minute, highlight by highlight, literally highlight by highlight, then blush by blush, then.
I'm just imagining this horrifying, almost American Psycho-esque montage.
But
and she doesn't play any music when it happens either. It's in complete silence.
It's just silence.
All you hear is like the whir of the engine in the background, just sort of this mechanical, archaeomatic kind of weird,
just
like ambiance.
Slowly peeling off her face mask and then slowly peeling off her hair mask.
And her horn mask, because tieflings have
her
that.
Horn mask.
Probably have that.
Yeah, gotta keep those. Do you have to moisturize bone, I guess?
Maybe it's a primer for polishing them. I don't.
No, wait, what? I don't. Never in my life have I had to ask the question, do you have to moisturize bone? If there are any taxidermists in the audience, please answer this question. Archaeologists.
I mean, it might stop them being quite so brittle. Like a robin.
Yeah. You paint them with like a polish that strengthens them like nails.
Maybe both just have bad PR. That's why you always say like bone dry. It's just they just need some help.
Bone dry. That's a fucking good point.
Clearly, they need moisturizing.
Moisturize y'all bones, people.
I'm so sorry. My deflection I did not intend my deflection to be so effective.
God, if that's not a clip by the end of the stream. Okay.
So, I'm so sorry. Please continue, Jason, with your lovely DMing.
Ratchet back into gear. Okay. Slipped into neutral for a little while and coasted for a bit, but we're back.
Coasted downhill, yes.
We're back with Jovi. Jovi. Love all things holy. Having found yourself in the company of a familiar face last night, your sleep was adequate, we'll say. Although there was that particular incident that will be expounded upon in future fiction. Keep an eye on the Fine Rites Twitter page. Follow us at blah blah. All right.
Yeah, it's already up. But please.
Oh, it's already out.
Please watch the show.
Please watch the show, but check that out afterwards. As there was that singular incident that did occur during the evening where you fell spectacularly after being plagued by visions, would be the kind way of putting it. Hamish seems a little more deliberate. Unfortunately, you awake to an empty bed as he set about preparing the workspace for the unfortunate few day customers who do arrive fresh off of the night shift. The cocktail spoon is still embedded in the ceiling from the previous incident that happened last session. It's not malicious in any intent, and indeed this is further reinforced by the fact that he did indeed leave a little bit of a note.
She would have read it immediately after finding it.
Work calls and I must answer. Then just his name at the bottom, Hamish.
She doesn't take any offense to that. She totally gets it. She has not ghosted, that's the wrong word, but she has definitely left notes before herself. So she gets how that works.
Yeah. But as you read this note and as you sort of prepare yourself for the day, you actually hear Hamish, well, actually, make a perception check. First roll.
16.
First roll, no pressure. 16. Okay. Is that a 16 total, just to make sure?
16 total.
Hamish is usually a talkative fellow. Even if he's talking to himself, like, you usually hear his voice around the workspace. This morning, he's quiet. You hear the shaving of ice. You hear the preparation of a scant few bottles for display, but not much conversating at the minute.
After Jovi got ready for the day, she did a little bit of prep on her drinks for the day in her room, but like grabbed what she needed, but then would go out to the bar to do like her actual prep. So it takes about an hour to prep all of her drinks for the day. So she's anticipating their trip off boat, and so she is working on potentially mixing up what she has in her kit for the day.
Okay. Of course, you will be having to adjourn sooner than later, hopefully, given the, shall we say, hasty nature of the task at hand. You see, being a part of a group that's been tasked to negotiate with a young red dragon over the securing of a motivating crystal in order to power the magical sort of dampening fields inherent to the final rites, it's going to be a couple of days before you return. So if there is any errant task that you've been kind of itching to go over, might be the time to wrap it up now.
I've been meaning to go on a clothes shopping trip. No. As
As soon as you say that, Nowhere appears, and she's like,
shopping trip?
"Hello. I heard you were thinking of visiting my dear friend Gork. I would love to accompany you. Perhaps you need some style advice."
Swipe. We'll just do a star swipe away, and then oh wow, that was a great shopping trip, you guys. Gork's such an interesting fellow.
Sure, guys, did you go without me again?
We'll just go back. Star swipe. No. So Jovi would have just started prepping quietly near Hamish, mixing, swiping what she needs from the bar to prep stuff. Occasionally, sort of looking to make eye contact, but if he's quiet, she's kind of like, okay.
As you sort of occupy the space next to Hamish, he doesn't seem to mind. He's just attending to his own sort of accoutrement now. You actually see him fiddling with a bit of long metal as you see him kind of twirl it in his fingers, trying to feel the weight of it. Go ahead and make an insight check.
13.
Okay. The hustle and bustle of the rites, it's inherent, it's something that you're used to. And Hamish is usually more of a participant. As was said, he's a conversating type of fella. But apparently, conversating ain't exactly what he's interested in today. At least not at the present moment. But as you look him over, and as he twirls his fingers with the metal sort of bar in hand, you see the metal begin to heat. One of the tattoos upon his upper shoulder, he's rolled up his sleeves and kind of let his arms be borne a little bit more to the wind, begins to glow and pulsate almost. He begins shaping the metal, and you get the sense he wants to talk, but he doesn't know exactly what he wants to say.
Probably between cocktail mixings, she puts her stuff down and just steps over to him and kisses him on the cheek, and then goes back to her work and then keeps working without really saying anything.
You see him kind of smile, and he sort of casts a sideways glance at you. What, after all that yesterday? That's all I get?
We are in public. I am nothing if not a creature of propriety, and she will smirk with as much sarcasm as possible.
Aye. I'm sure you are. As he shapes the metal, it takes the form of another cocktail spoon. It seems that he's making a replacement.
You know, you can come back and retrieve the one you left whenever you want.
It's part of the room now. Gives character, don't you think?
It's certainly a conversation starter.
Aye. Sort of like that petty kiss you gave me. He sort of chuckles to himself.
Wow, you're gonna be impossible, aren't you?
Thought I already was. And he begins to slough off the excess metal as the spoon itself takes shape. It's utilitarian. It is not fancy in any way, shape, or form.
So we're heading out. I assume. I'm sure Mercy's chomping at the bit to get off ship.
He nods.
So I'll be abroad for a bit. I'm sure you can handle things without me, as much of a struggle as that might be.
You're right. He nods and looks to you. It'll be a struggle. But I got your shite to do, and suppose I've got mine somewhere.
You know, you're kind of cute when you're sincere. I don't get to see that very often.
He stops, purses his lips a little, and breathes through his nose. Not many people do. Just keep that in mind, eh?
She will give him a very extended hug and a very extended kiss, and then she will leave with her stuff.
He's not shocked, but he is appreciative. From this scene,
courage.
yeah. From this scene, we then motion to Mercy, buried beneath a just absolute cavalcade of fluffy and warm stuff. I need you to roll a Constitution check, actually.
Oh no, for asphyxiation? Cannot be
A
serious.
comfy constitution.
Constitution check. That's a 3.
It's comfortable, and as you sort of wake from your sleep, you immediately recognize that about 2 pounds of sweat have like just fallen off of your body due to the heat of this closet. Oh God, it's unbearable. You feel like this sudden constriction of your breathing as you realize it's almost like an oven down here. Like, you've been accustomed to heat before. Like, Kato was a literal fire genasi, like your dearest friend. Like, but still, it's just it's one of those like still heat that like whenever you wake up in the morning and you don't have the fan on, just there's an air that clings to each and every like square inch of the room. It's just not a good scene.
So her eyes slowly like open one at a time as they unstick each other from like the sweat. And she thinks for a few minutes and is like, well, I do have fire resistance. Could just not move and die slowly. But on the other hand, I might get off this boat today, so I think I'll actually get up. So she starts to disentangle herself from her many blankets and cushions and probably like throws and scarves and shawls and all these fabrics that are all kind of layered up in her lair, so to speak. And gets ready for the day. She kind of shakes herself a bit like a puppy. Probably has a towel hanging on the back of her door and she'll like stab at herself half-heartedly. And she kind of remembers why she was pretty keen the day before, like, yeah, this is it. This is, this could be the day. Like, this is my chance.
Exactly.
So she takes a few steps outside and he's gonna head straight up towards where she reliably usually finds Jovi, the main kind of room with all the drinks. And besides, after losing that much sweat, you're very dehydrated, and she knows it's very important to remain hydrated, so she's gonna go get a drink.
Right.
It's almost like the elemental plane of fire is a bad idea. Oh my god.
That's a great idea, guys. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Just great. Don't worry. As you walk, Mercy, you specifically see a few of the, given the time of morning that you are currently at. I swear I'll have this down pat one of these days. This will be Team 2 that's attending to the needs of the rites at the moment. So while you do see Bahazet sort of making the rounds in the gambling hall, cleaning up and whatnot, even from the evening before, sort of wrapping that process up, you note a couple of other figures that sort of flank him and kind of in low tones discuss. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okie dokie. That's an 11.
An 11. You know their general forms. There is a very terse sort of, you can almost see the tension present within her jaw. A very terse red dragonborn whose patients seem to be really thin. You recognize this as Second Lieutenant Yorhala Kersa. She's amiable enough in the sense that if you do your duty and don't really get into the specifics, she'll usually like you enough to not like want to strangle you for failure. Whereas the lieutenant who is under her is somewhat of a clash personality-wise. The 5th lieutenant, a cerulean tiefling with sea green eyes, cloven hooves, no tail, and horns that sort of a horn, a singular horn that juts out like a narwhal's, who's very sunny, lieutenant by the name of Exceptional. His face is semi-boyish, and his demeanor is very, as was intoned earlier, very sunny, very positive. He kind of nods a few times to some of the errant lesser imps that are scrubbing away at the floorboards and sweeping away at the poker tables.
I would probably head up to him and say, hey, good morning or good evening, whichever one it is. I can't tell. Sky is orange. That usually means either dawn or dusk. I have no idea. But hey, how are you doing, Corny?
You get a laugh from Exceptional, and no one else kind of responds. He kind of steps away from them. You can assume that we're all doing fine.
Well, I mean, that's good, I guess. Well, I'm just gonna go to the bar because you're not making a good conversation. I'm right now.
Mind if I were to join you?
No, I mean, go ahead. Sure beans.
Good, good. Gonna be going on break, boss. Hope you don't mind. There's a little puff of smoke from Yorhala's lips as she grunts.
So, Corny, what kind of thing do you like to drink, right?
He blinks a couple of times. Still have to ask you why you call me that.
I mean, it's because you look like a unicorn, right? Come on. Surely someone's called you that before.
I regret asking now. An awkward silence.
My friends' nicknames. You're fine.
Oh, friends. News to me. He sort of begins walking to Jovi's establishment.
I stride on over as well, keep my eyes out for the Jovi.
Has Jovi completed macking out on Hamish, or is she still in process when all this happens?
Stealth check versus perception.
Oh gosh.
Hell yeah.
Not great.
16.
Stealth? Okay. 22.
You finished just the split few seconds before and settled yourself before Exceptional and
Jovi
Mercy make their way.
Lipstick off him.
Just like... you actually see him kind of wave his hand over his face, and prestidigitation takes care of the rest.
There you go. You're teaching me that too.
Huh? He's sort of like actually lets out a genuine, what did you say? Before Exceptional and Mercy crest the corner. And Exceptional waves in a very flamboyant manner. He is a regular, but you don't really know much about him.
Jovi, hey, how you doing? It's kind of hot, right? Do you think it's hot? Do you have any ice? I could redo with some ice. Maybe just some ice water, maybe with some cucumber. And do you have cucumber? If anyone on the ship has a cucumber, it's you.
Okay. She just starts putting that together. I don't know how to take that. But yeah, she puts together something cold. Just like, it's almost as if it's hot in the elemental plane of fire. And she will pass that along.
I mean, sure, that's you're gonna be getting even more business while we're here. When we're back from going to see a dragon.
Excuse me? Exceptional kind of like his eyes widen and narrow simultaneously, and he tilts his head to the side.
Jovi looks at Exceptional. That may or may not be classified. I wouldn't worry your head about it.
Fair enough.
No, but it's still pretty interesting though, right? I mean, gonna be some rumors about that one. If anyone overheard something about a dragon.
Which we're not necessarily talking openly about.
Make a deception check at disadvantage.
Oh, are you kidding me? That was amazing. I rolled an 18 and a 20. So it's 20 total. I rolled a nat 20 on deception.
Against all odds, Exceptional seems to be like,
when you're making drinks for people, you know, they forgive.
yeah, he just sort of like, like
Anyway,
you
when
do.
are we?
Go ahead.
When are we heading out? Anyway, like I thought this was urgent matter.
I think that might be up to
our pin them to the mast.
Was that a genuine threat that was lodged at
I
you?
mean, he's thrown that one at me at least 10 times since he started working on the final rites. Hasn't done it yet, so either he's saving it for this one so he can get 3 heads at once, or it is an empty threat.
Mercy, I'm pretty sure that's just how Bahamut says good afternoon. So, I wouldn't worry too much about it. He's a lot of bluster. He's a lot of actual follow-up with threats, but I think he'll be okay.
Both of you make perception checks as you see Exceptional kind of shrink to the side.
23.
12.
Mercy, you're the only one to notice that there's an actual like presence behind your back that feels very Bahamut shaped.
There's a shadow over Mercy's body.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, boss. That's funny. We're just talking about you. What are the chances?
The final rites does not even have a mast.
I mean, you could pin them to like the chimney the smoke comes out of. I don't know. It looks like a mast.
Then I would say that I would pin your head to the chimney.
But if you did that, if you pin the heads to the chimney, you could make a side of the chimney, and the steam would start escaping out the side, and it would lose functionality of the chimney. So maybe you shouldn't do that, and you should leave our heads where they are.
Exceptional goes to the bar and orders a drink from Hamish, just something small, before scarfing it down really, really quickly, as Bahamut blinks a few times at the both of you.
Jovi looks to Bahamut. Is there anything I can get for you, bosun, sir?
Not in the form of a drink, no. But perhaps before you depart, I might be able to ask you about a certain incident that was observed by one of my guards. And the brother of Succulent. He clicks his tongue and kind of grinds his teeth. Or he stops. Actually, Succulent himself. No.
Well, I suppose Jovi looks between her and Mercy.
I'm actually not responsible for this one. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, really? Then you did not terrify a passenger?
I meant to mention that. There was a slight miscommunication. It wasn't anything intentional at all. She's a little on the skittish side, and I think Mercy and I might have laid our friendliness on a little thick, and that might have overwhelmed her.
Hey, I could have saved her life. You realize you don't allergy any serve on the ship. You haphazardly go and kill one of your visitors. Have you thought about that?
Mercy would like to institute an allergy listing. I can talk to Nowhere about maybe putting a column in her little ledger about food considerations for passengers. All is well. If any apologies need to be made, I am absolutely willing to make them. I was intending to do so anyway when we returned from our away mission.
Bahamut, like, you get the sense he has the constant impression that he's suffering some sort of stroke or like massive headache, but he actually releases the tension from himself and sighs. A fine enough plan, given that this will be an excursion that takes a fair amount of time.
I'll leave a gift basket at her door. No citrus.
Yeah, be careful with that.
I was also told that she had registered some sort of inquiry to you.
Yes, sorry. Sorry. Just flew right through my brain a little bit. She was curious when we would be arriving in the city of Dis. I couldn't really inform her that I wasn't sure the order of our destinations.
What
Is it next to
fortune?
the city of Sass?
No, that's where you live, Mercy.
No, I'm actually from, well, I was in Waterdeep for a while.
Weren't we all?
You see Bahazet kind of stretch and contort his lips, trying to get an answer out, baring his teeth.
Maybe we should get out of your hair and just go to the elemental plane of fire. Really, it's just stressing you out. Keep the boat isn't. Let's find nowhere. We should totally just get out of your hair, your scales, your feathers, your mating feathers, whatever we wanted to call them.
Your mating feathers. I'm sorry.
He was going to be kind of nice. He's just going to look point blank at Jovi. We arrive in this as our next transition. There will be 6 days from now. Be sure to include this in your apology, as you are, by extension, a representative of the rites. Yes?
Yes, terrible apologies. It was never my intention to cause her disconcertion.
Good. If it is an honest mistake, I can excuse it.
It was. I give you my word. I apologize to you, and I will apologize to her.
He sort of releases the tension in his hands, the claws actually kind of growing a little bit before he sort of stuffs that hand in his pocket and nods before looking to exceptional very pointedly and grunting, turning about heel and just walking off.
Jovi leans over to Mercy. I think I'm gonna have to start calling that his mercy vein. Just the one right there. Yeah.
It's fine. We're getting off the boat today, so we'll have time to cool
Temporarily.
off before we get back. Yeah, we'll be out of his hair for a little while. I don't know how big the elemental plane of fire is. Maybe this dragon's moved cave in the last few years. We could be traveling for anywhere up to a week, maybe even 2 weeks. What if we miss the boat before it heads off? We'll just have to vacation for a little bit.
We are not missing the boat. I will make sure of it.
Fine. Anyway, where the hell is Nowhere? How long does her beauty routine meant first light?
Going to nowhere.
Slowly peeling the mask inside.
I will say, with the time that has passed, you have fully gone through your complete routine. I suppose we should now pay attention to what exact outfit you will be traipsing around the elemental plane of fire with, in as much detail as you can muster.
I think I described that last episode because I went to Gork to go get it done.
Yes, indeed. Had it fired.
Go watch last time's episode.
Gives you-
Do it back in
what she's wearing.
So it's a cream colored, like a creamy white, not pure white, because Nowhere finds pure white items to be incredibly lowbrow. So it's like a creamy white, and it's super.
The fact that you are wearing white right now, it's just like so good.
Only stupid people wear white. It's like form-fitting, and then it has like a, it's one sleeve is sleeveless, so it kind of goes under the armpit and cuts across like this into a long sleeve. And when she lifts up that one sleeve, there's fabric that's connected from the sleeve to the bottom of the dress. So it's like it's a one bat wing, if you will.
I remember this.
Yes. Yes. That's what
opponents get a +1 to grappling you while you're wearing that.
If I needed to make a quick escape, I could maybe just jump into like a windy current and then kind of very like.
Yes, jumping off a cliff. That's a very safe plan.
How
Wait,
else
is
can
it-
you escape enemies?
Is it nighttime or is it daytime?
It is daytime, solidly.
Oh, so I've woken up.
Yeah. I would hope so. Yes.
I wake up.
Peels her
instantly.
mask off while she's asleep. That's horrifying.
Well, I had put a night oil on my face, obviously. So I wake up and I look perfect, flawless. I wake up and I begin my morning routine, which doesn't take quite as much time as my evening routine. My evening routine is really when I take care of myself. My morning routine is I wash my face and then I exfoliate with this like gel that when you put it on, like all of the dead skin rolls up like eraser shavings. And then I, clean off that and then I moisturize.
Well,
And then I
Noah's a
spray a
walking
tonic.
horror movie.
yeah. I will say that actual gel is probably the remnants of the tempered remnants of a slime, probably like a green
Yeah.
slime.
Yep, and it leaves my dirty face, my dry faces, and then I tonic, and then under eye roller, and then I do a lip mask every morning.
Mhm.
But that only takes like 5 minutes. Then I thread my eyebrows. Then I make sure that I don't have any like ingrown hairs. I would tweeze them if I did. I moisturize my entire body. And I just
That's important for the elemental plane of fire. I mean, that's very dry.
I moisturize my entire body, and then I just stand naked in the middle of the room with my arms out while I wait for it to dry.
No, we're just T-poses. She's a Martian. I don't know how to handle
With
What?
nowhere
I'm so happy this all happens off screen and we don't know she does this.
Yeah, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Nowhere is from I don't fucking know, but I don't want to visit.
The thing that is fun game that you all can play with nowhere, and you can do this at home, is alien or rude or just rude.
I feel like that has been my experience with any PC I've played with you. Alien, rude, or octopus. Those are the three options.
Or a rude alien octopus. Just
Or
roll
rude
it
That's
alien
along.
octopus. Hey, they weren't rude. They were just weird. They were alien.
That's fair. They were
They were an alien octopus.
Yeah.
And then I dress and I will go to the chow hall to meet my potty because I assume that's where they are. I assume that they didn't even go home last night and that they're probably still like
What a
drinking.
bunch of miscreants we are.
Mhm.
How dare you?
Am I wrong?
Yes, I went back to my
I
room. and
definitely went back to my room.
Yeah, you went back to your room with your slam piece.
You mean my boss? Yeah.
I like to imagine this conversation is happening in character.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to say. I really want to hear Nowhere say your slam piece.
Rein in the cats. Herd the cats. Come on back.
So I go and I meet everyone in the mess hall.
Yes. Do recall that you do have the device that Eamon came up with tucked
No,
in.
I didn't know because I asked Bahazet to send me a stud.
Oh, that's
So
right.
I left it in my room, and I assume that a stud is gonna come and find me to pick it up because I'm not carrying it.
All right.
Hamish is busy. I don't know what you're gonna do. No.
We'll roll.
He told
for
me that he was gonna send like the trident or something.
Yes. I'll.
And then he was staring at me, but then I left.
I'm trying to process. Okay, so many things. All right. So nowhere. Have the device in your room. Somebody will come and pick it up. Hopefully.
No, they
you-
best not go in my room. It's locked. They can come find me though.
They will come find you with explicit orders to come find you, and that was your Hala. That was her shift, so she might have helped. You go down to the mess hall. Succulent is there preparing the breakfast foods. You have very, very odd choices for today. Kuatoa eggs scrambled with what seem to be like... They look like green onions, but they seem to be purple in coloration. A few other sort of breakfast meats, flanks of regular ham and sausage. And then there seems to be some sort of scrapple of his own designing. Go ahead and roll an investigation check as you're sort of looking at it.
A breakfast check?
Something like that, yeah.
Scrapple, why'd you have to pull
22.
that one? I'm just gonna bad memories.
22, you say?
Yeah.
Taking a look at it, you don't want to eat it. You just don't. It's
Do
gotta
I
talk
need to tell you what I want for breakfast? Are we role playing breakfast?
sure, as Mercy and Jovi are preoccupied elsewhere.
I would like a chia bowl with granola and charcoal, like whole pieces of charcoal.
Like whole pieces of
You're dipping back into Alien right now.
Okay. A chia bowl.
And 2 blueberries for flavor. I'm just nowhere at some point has become what I imagine Gwyneth Paltrow is like.
Mixed with Moira Rose.
I'm never going to. I am never going to ask what you're going to have to eat. This has convinced me. I won't ask again. I'm sorry.
You should have learned the first time when you asked me what Nowhere was having for dinner, and I said it was a dry iceberg lettuce salad.
Monster.
Monster.
It was just crunching it next to everyone.
Nowhere's palate is the real antagonist of this story.
Succulent is not surprised by any of these demands, and so he makes sure that he gets the ripest blueberries.
Maybe instead of chia seed, because this is like fantasy, maybe it's like slad eggs or something.
Yeah, I'll. You know what? Sure, it is slad eggs. Are you happy now? It's defertilized slad eggs.
They have a nice little pop.
Yes,
I enjoy it.
Yes, it. I
like
remember
a savory gusher.
Food horror was never where I expected this game to go.
Yeah, I don't remember us putting warnings in for this when we started the episode.
Yeah.
Content warnings. Nowhere's about to eat.
Okay.
It's just like caviar. It's not that bizarre.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just for sake of brevity, Jovi.
And a shot of vodka.
Jesus. Okay. For sake of brevity, Mercy, Jovi, Eamon actually sort of wanders up and says, pardon, looks to the both of you kind of quizzically. Weren't you supposed to be meeting with Mercy one of these days? Or one of these hours?
Wait, meeting? Wait,
mean
sorry,
Nowhere?
I'm confused. Who are we with? You mean Mercy? I'm...
Nowhere. I'm sorry.
It's all right, Eamon. It's early.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just waiting. She has an uncanny ability of finding us, so we figured we'd just stay in one spot, and she would discover us in due time.
She's probably unhinging her second jaw to like envelop a whole unpeeled cantaloupe or something.
Whistler kind of actually peeps up from one of the counters. He wasn't there before. All of you swear he was not there before. And then he blinks a few times. Oh, actually, I think I saw her down in the mess hall. She's having some sort of
right.
monstrosity. Hi, Eamon.
Yeah, that
just
sounds
sort of
right.
waves.
Thank
Hamish
you,
looks
Whistler.
to Whistler. Excuse me. Hamish looks to Whistler and nods, getting his, shall we say, not annual, that's per year, his daily glass of carrot juice that Whistler habitually drinks. He just
This is my annual carrot juice. It's carrot day. My favorite day of the year.
Are you? All right.
You did it. Good job.
Thanks
All right.
for coming, everyone.
Anyway,
Can't wait for the next 2 hours.
the plot mercifully is asking you to move along.
No, of course. Jovi looks to Mercy. We should go catch her.
Yeah, we
then.
should totally go watch as she skins and live a baby on. Let's go.
Give me a second. I'll get my bag. And Jovi goes to the bar and starts collecting all of her shit and her drinks for the day. And goes over to Hamish and I'll see you when I get back.
You see him kind of still himself from Whistler and Eamon, who are now sort of at the bar, kind of conversing. He smirks, puts a hand on yours, and kind of squeezes it. Let's get back here without too many scorch marks, eh?
That's the plan.
We haven't got all day, you two. Oh my god, snog later.
He shakes his head.
Tempted to just. She thinks better of it and then just smacks Hamish on the ass and then walks away.
Tell me when you get back. He just sort of.
You'll
smirks.
know.
He laughs and joins the others. I will say, in peace, as everybody has vacated the mess hall, given this horrific display of eatery, nowhere you are sitting with sort of Succulent alone at the mess hall. Succulent actually asks the errant question before Mercy and Jovi arrive. How the hell do you eat like that?
Well, I just think about how many hours I have in the day, and it is best to fuel your body for success, rather than waste my time with things that may taste well, but inevitably make me feel tired or poor down the line. I simply practice efficient eating.
At
He
this
blinks.
Point, I imagine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just at some point, Mercy will burst in and go, "No, nowhere! Don't eat Succulent. The ship needs him."
Succulent lets out a laugh despite himself and looking to your, I'm assuming, absolutely clean plate, nowhere?
Oh yeah, I eat really fast.
Yeah. Takes it very genteelly.
But never when anyone's looking. Like he looked away and the bowl
There's just
was
less food
half
every time we
empty.
look over.
Yeah.
You're the weeping angel of food.
The weeping angel of food.
Anyway, the dishes are taken away.
That's the kind of thing that goes on Heroes, Mercy.
The three of you, all assembled here in the mess hall, now, brought together, again, mercifully, due to plot constraints. Is there anything you would like to discuss as you await your potential fourth? Well, nowhere. You only know that there's a potential fourth. So, yeah.
Nowhere. Are you sure that dress isn't flammable because it kind of looks like polyester?
It is not made of polyester. Gork made sure that it was fully enchanted to be just as fireproof as I myself. Now, I received a visit last night from, I forget his name, Gallows, Eamon?
Aemon?
Aemond?
Gallow Dodger.
Gallow Dodger.
I thought you had everyone's names written down. Nowhere.
Yes, Nowhere does, but the person who plays Nowhere is a stupid idiot who doesn't
Mercy.
remember anyone's name.
She writes the names down so she doesn't have to remember them.
That's a
Exactly.
good point.
I received a visit last night from Aemond, who gave me a very heavy package that should help us secure.
You know.
He did he? I didn't think he had it in him.
Nowhere does not respond to the joke, even though I'm laughing.
See, a less charitable person would have been, well, Nowhere certainly had it in her. But I'm more charitable than that.
Jokes aside,
So-
this is a very serious matter. And Bahazet will be sending one of his numerous underlings to help us carry the box.
Oh shit, I hope that wasn't meant to be me.
No, I do not believe it was meant to be you, as I did tell him you were accompanying me.
Okay, that's good, that's good.
I don't know, I wouldn't put it past him.
I get the feeling he doesn't like me very much.
I wouldn't concern
No.
yourself with whether or not Bahazet likes you. His affections are meaningless. Much like
You're
all.
a true romantic, Nowhere.
Hmm.
So when's the pack mule arriving anyway? When can we set off? Kind of, we need to get going.
Mercy's been chomping at the bit
We're gonna be a
since the
dragon!
moment she found we were late.
Have you both had a filling breakfast?
No, Succulent, have you got any bacon?
Succulent, please make for them what I just had. It will fuel them for the entire trip.
Hey, no, I don't eat kittens. I'd like some bacon.
I don't eat kittens either. That's ridiculous. That's a rumor. It's unsubstantiated.
Both of you roll a perception or a persuasion check.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna believe that you eat kittens now. That's a 9.
16.
You sure about that? Nowhere. I don't know if everyone's taste.
Yes, we are going on a very tedious journey to the elemental plane of fire. And as I'm speaking, I'm like looking between the two of them, like, you guys, obviously. And they will need a very hearty breakfast that will keep them feeling full and energized for the entire day. We won't have time for snack breaks.
Then let's go with granola or something, but I don't want to eat whatever was on that plate.
The plate is clean. You don't even know what was on it.
Exactly. My horror is only intensified.
It was very tasty. Add 4 blueberries.
I thought taste was for the weak. Nowhere.
Oh, it was just a consequence.
I mean, if that's the case, then that's pretty hypocritical given her tasting clothes. Who knew you
Sorry,
could
I
make
need to say that
breakfast
on
last
mic.
so long?
I need to do this on mic.
Oh, gasp. Yes, where is Bahazet with his underling? With his person? So
Employee,
Stinge.
perhaps, is the word you're searching for.
well, in my notes I wrote stud, but I don't want to say that.
Oh, if we're getting a stud on the trip, I don't mind so much. It'll be a heck of a lot better of a set than the plane.
I mean, it might make the vacation take longer if there is a stud for you two to pass between each other.
Well, there will be no passage. There will be at minimum, though, Oglin.
If the stud doesn't show up, I'm going to call Bahazet on our crystal phones.
You hear Succulent just try to interject like every once in a while, but as this flurry of conversation happens, he just gives up and fixes the same thing that Mercy had this morning, adding the 4 blueberries, or excuse me, the same thing that Nowhere had this morning, adding the blueberries as instructed, 4 instead of 2, and laying it before Mercy and Shelby.
What did this egg come out of?
That's a slab.
It's best not to concern yourself with things like that if it's just going to bother you.
Wait, it came out of a salad.
No, a
Yes.
slab.
Yes, a salad. Salad.
Make a deception check. Mercy, make a nature check.
My nature check is actually 18, which is ridiculous.
19.
Oh no!
Okay,
It's a salad egg.
Mercy. You do know what a slad is. It's a frog person. It's like it. Well, I say frog person, more like frog monster.
I think they're more like toad. I
Toad-
think they're more like toad monsters.
Toad monsters. Toad Is there a? It's a toad monster.
I guess they're more like they're the wet ones, which I think are frogs. You're right. Toads aren't wet. Toads aren't wet. That's not weird. That's not a weird thing I just said. Toads aren't wet. They're dry. They live in
But
logs.
divorced of context, you say those are
Can
the wet
Can
ones.
someone just clip your outraged toads aren't wet?
Mercy.
Okay.
Mercy, okay. You
You called me.
you do remember what a slad is. It's like this frog monster thing. It screams. It's terrible. It sucks very hard. And
I
you
mean-
think you think it is, but I mean, nowhere says it's a salad egg. Maybe it could be a salad egg?
I mean, I'm game to try anything once, I guess. And I will try and eat it.
Whew. To Nowhere's palate, it tastes perfectly logical and fine. There's a saltiness that is not necessarily overpowering, but the texture of it is what's interesting. You know how reconstituted dried fruit kind of lulls around in your mouth and like squishes between your teeth? It's sort of
This tastes like goat testicles. I'm not sure about your food choices. It better be nutritious.
It's highly nutritious, and also I've never myself had goat testicles, so I cannot confirm
You'd be
your.
amazed at what kind of Waterdavian street food you get, trust me.
I imagine that I would not be amazed.
Jovi, do you partake?
I'm just looking at you.
There's a split second of like Mexican standoff chicken going on. But then she relents and she will try. She will politely try the food.
All right.
Try it
Politely.
once, I always say.
So very politely, you bite down on the array settled before you, and again, that sort of same reconstituted, like, it's not great, but you, most especially Jovi, have had worse. Everybody, quickly for me, make a history check.
17.
18.
2.
The breakfast offered before you. The frogs are the wet ones, and you really don't give a crap at the moment. Pardon. A bell chimes in the distance and echoes throughout the ship. Nowhere and Mercy, what did y'all roll again? It was
17.
And
I think I had an 18.
An 18, something along those lines. They were equitable. You note that marks the 24-hour period of preparation, for lack of a better term. The passengers aboard the Rites, are notified of the time where they can adjourn and board by that singular bell tone. It's distinct, it is clear, and it is almost like 3 or 4 toned. It's a beautiful sound that emanates out. And as it does, you all get the sense that it's probably time to get going, because Nowhere, as the keeper of the ledger, you are to register and keep an eye on incoming and outgoing passengers. As this will take a couple of days, you know implicitly that your responsibilities then fall on Nominee. Not exactly not exactly an unorthodox move, especially given the circumstances, but she's very busy, and I'm sure she would appreciate you returning post-haste. Pardon.
Look,
Okay.
we need to skedaddle. Do you want me to go grab this heavy thingamabob that you carry?
No, because I think it would be best if we were fully free to interact with the dragon's name.
I guess, well, you better call Bahazet because your stud ain't here. Maybe he's waiting for us at the exit. Maybe
I'm gonna call Bahazet on the crystal phone.
There's mercifully one behind the counter that you can reach over and sort of plug into, for lack of a better term. Bahazet feels the same vibration, being still in the gambling hall, or at least on the outside of it. There's a small a smaller one that's situated next to like an outside table that he affixes his crystal into. So lovely to hear from you again.
Oh, do these things have caller ID?
They do now.
Logically, he assumes, or yeah, I think it was that the actual color indicated who exactly was.
What is his color for me? Did he get to choose the color for me?
His color for you is going to be a sort of gold-ish color, off gold.
Oh, okay. My color for him is... What color are his scales? What color are his eyes? What color are his eyes?
I'll say that it is eye color, having not thought about it, but I'd say probably like a deep purple, and not because the band came to mind.
Okay, my color for him is deep
Yeah.
purple, like his eyes.
Okay.
But I haven't told anyone that. It's a secret. Bahazet, good morning. I assume that we were able to make it to dock without any trouble.
We've still yet to make it. Did you not hear the bell? 24 hours.
Oh, I forgot. I kind of forgot what that meant. We would like to disembark. Wait, we haven't docked yet? Then why are we leaving?
Because you have a job to do.
No, I'm asking, how is it possible for us to leave if we haven't docked yet?
There are other ways to leave the boat. Specifically, you get the impression that a lifeboat will be provided whereby you can go ashore and then...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I misunderstood then the sequence of events. So we need to be back in 24 hours.
You don't have to. Again...
Ideally. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Ideally.
Okay. Bahazet, we would like to disembark as soon as possible so that I may burden Namahe as little as possible with the duties as the keeper of the ledger. Where is the man you are sending to carry this very heavy equipment that we were given for our very important mission?
In front of your door, banging his head against it, trying to open it.
Well, that is called breaking and entering, Bahazet, and it is a crime. I wish you had told me that he was meeting me at my quarters. I would have been waiting. Or at least I would have been back sooner. Anyways, don't keep me any longer from getting to your man. I'm sure he's very frustrated with you. I will smooth things over as best I can, but really, this is quite embarrassing, Bahazet. I will speak to you when we are back. Take care. Bye.
Just to rip out the crystal. He sort of looks to it, blinks a couple of times, and then just goes about his day. Just...
Our newest companion is waiting outside of my quarters where the equipment is. We should go, fetch him, and then leave post-haste.
Okay, great. Let's go. And I
Let's
immediately
go.
monk dash towards Nowhere's room.
Do you know where I sleep?
We'll find out.
We will indeed.
Mercy just opens doors like, nope, not that one. Nope, not
No,
that one.
there's no Gucci in here.
I don't see any egg sacs. This can't be nowhere.
It's called Gorky. It's Gorky.
Yeah.
It's quirky.
I was going to be
What
all
am I
cool.
rolling, DM?
No, I was going to be all cool and say, and we'll find out if you know after this break, but the moment's passed because
Oh,
Gorky has now
spoiled
been
it.
introduced. Oh, somebody take us to
What
break.
about Garmani?
Garmani.
Garmani.
and,
Garmani?
Gormani.
Gormani.
Gormani. And Coriander.
Dolce and
Coriander.
Gormana.
Coriander McGork.
Is this just going to devolve
Just Linorama, go.
Linorum? Oh boy.
I'll put us on break if you're ready.
That sounds like a marvelous.
Go grab some water. Go take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you and sorry.
take. I don't feel good and my body starts to shake. I fell in love with a girl, I haven't seen her met so far. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the only one who sees what they say it takes to be a man and what a man can be. It's all lies, it's all a fraud. They only feed you with what they're being fed. Sometimes I still feel it's all so dull. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. 'Cause someday I'll leave this place, even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. Well, it makes me lose my mind, but I don't get it why. Everybody's moving so fast, and I'm not even blinking with an eye. But I don't want your badge, I don't need no gun. I'd rather bleed truth than feel misunderstood. Sometimes I still feel it's all so dull. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. Someday I'll leave this place, even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. Someday I'll leave this place, even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. Don't run away.
Bring me to the valley of peace. Spare my heart and I'll reach to the end of the road. Release me from the chains of my mind. Pain I cannot define pierces me all the way down. 'Cause all I ever want is you. Even sometimes I realize that nothing feels right. Only you, you give me heaven. Only you got my attention. Oh, the pressure in my life and all the stress I can't deny. It fills me up each time. Only you give me heaven. Only you got my attention. Oh, the pressure in my life and all the stress I can't deny. It fills me up each time. Go away, you devil, set me free. Take the darkness when you leave. Let my wounds heal. Now I'm sober, eyes are open wide. Leaving with no regret, I try to forget the reason I cry. Only you give me heaven. Only you got my attention. All the pressure in my life and all the stress I can't deny. It fills me up each time. Only you give me heaven. All the pressure in my life and all the stress I can't deny. It fills me up each time. Cause all I ever want is you. told me I should beware. I'll tell you a story about mean people who take use of innocent girls. Don't mean to scare you, but be careful. Maybe think twice before you walk alone. Call somebody to take you home. Look over your shoulder when you go that way. This world might take you to a bad, bad place. Remember you told me things your mama said. She never gave you enough affection. Let you run around. She didn't know you're bound to feel alone and such neglection. You may feel the need to fix the past you need and show overlovingness. Feed me, pushes me further. World full of bad, I can't take much longer. Hold tight, you'll see I'm right. I don't tell you nothing just to mess with your mind. Don't be cold and act like you know some things my child make us all feel small. Remember you told me I should watch out. You see not I will have a good intentions. So keep your eyes stretched and sharp your senses. I'm terrified that you lose direction. Just hold tight, you'll see I'm right. I don't tell you nothing just to mess with your mind. Don't be cold and act like you know some things my child make us all feel small. Take this mark back to where it came from. Leave me out, this is not mine. To carry with me through my life. Hope these scars can heal with time. Hold tight, you'll see I'm right. I don't tell you nothing just to mess with your mind. Don't be cold and act like you know some things my child make us all feel small. And I'll hold tight and hope I'm right. I'll see the good when I lose my sight. I'll play right and follow my life. I'll scream what I need with my silent sound.
Spend all my money on pretty things, diamante shoes and all these diamond rings. Yes, I spend my money on these fancy cars, on a Jack in the Box and all trips to Mars. Yes, I and I. Oh, and I ain't got no shilling left for me.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope the break was as good for you as it was for us. It was a marvelous time all around. When last we left off, the group adjourned to the room of nowhere. Blah. The group adjourned to the room of nowhere, where apparently the designated stud of the party was currently attempting to access the device that Nowhere had indicated she needed some assistance in transporting. Pardon. As you make your way through the sort of ebon halls of the Rites, You encounter Bahazet along the way, but he seems to be sort of attending to other things, doesn't really pay much attention to you. There's actually a bit of a disagreement between him and Yorhala going on in Draconic. If anybody speaks that, they can try and listen in. But as time progresses and as you make it to Nowhere's room, Nowhere, please just roll for me a d20.
Okay. Is there an option on D20 on World Anvil to just roll a D20?
Yes. I believe it's in the session area though.
Yeah.
How do I get to the session area?
We don't have a live session right now.
Oh, okay. So then I'll just roll one myself. I'll just roll one myself.
What?
I'll show you later how you can embed a dice roll onto your sheet, though. You could just put a d20 somewhere and click.
Indeed, World Anvil Heroes.
I got a 17.
All right, a 17. Just a quick shout out to World Anvil Heroes, one of the most convenient programs out there available. Please go ahead and visit worldanvil.com. Sorry, went blank there for a second. So with a 17, it takes a minute for you to process what you're seeing. It's very strange. The form itself is hulking, like towering over each of you. It's almost like 9 foot tall, and although it seems like horns should be jutting from its sort of bovine skull, they actually seem to be broken or otherwise scraped off. It wears this very ridiculous suit, question mark, of a rubbery urethane substance. And as it sort of stands at the door, it stares very, very vacantly at it.
Can I lean into Nowhere? Did Bahazet send a gimp?
I was just
about fuck. Everybody make a perception check, please.
12.
Are we looking for the ball gags that we're rolling for?
When you said stud, maybe he got the wrong idea. I mean, he is currently in his
Okay,
making-
I didn't
sorry.
say stud.
I rolled a natural 1. So 6
Oh,
total.
I got a 12.
Same here.
Jovi, you are distracted by the pure physicality present in this form. It's shall we say, appealing in a certain sense. For Nowhere and Mercy. Mercy, I believe you rolled like a 15 or something like that, yes?
I rolled a 12, so we both got the same.
Oh, both the same. All right. Fun. So, here's the thing. There are certain portions of the rites that are not inaccessible, but hazardous to the corporeal health of certain individuals. Not to zombies, or at least not to the extent that people would care. You see, the patrons of the final rites were more than adamant that their work necessitated the incorporation of bodies that might withstand bodies that might withstand the more hazardous conditions of certain portions of the rites. Now, the question might be raised, why isn't Eamon using this one to help with the crystal? Well, suffice to say that knowledge of Arcana is necessary, and preferable to a vacant mind that is done as it's told. So as this hulking minotaur gimp-suited zombie stands in front of your entryway nowhere, it takes a moment and you hear the clicking of each of the bones in its spine and neck as it turns to you. It's muffled by the plastic sort of exterior and hollow, sort of like dim red-ish lights shine from behind the goggles of this suit.
Hello. You must be the one who's here to travel with us to the thing.
It stares and says nothing.
All right, if you would please just excuse me, and I'm gonna kind of like smack him away from the door. I will.
He lumbers backward, each footfall crashing to the ground.
I'm gonna turn to Mercy and Jovi and say, I personally cannot stand the sight of these things, but I suppose they are quite helpful when it comes to menial tasks and dangerous labor. And I'm gonna insert my keys into the lock and then do secret stuff to make it open. It's like 7 locks.
I'll be honest, until today, I didn't actually know we had a zombie. So that's
yes. Yes, we do. Not a lot, but quite a few. Enough.
Undeadness is no reason for impoliteness nowhere. It's still a person?
You hear the same sort of like the bones crack obviously, but there's a dark like whoosh, like a wind that flows through it and looks to you vacantly, just as vacantly.
Nice to meet you too, big fella.
I will open my door and I will point to the thing, which is like just inside the door, and I'll say, "That's it. That is what you will be carrying. Just strap it to your back there and follow us."
Roll an animal handling check.
An animal handling check?
I mean, what would you define a zombie minotaur as? You can't persuade it.
I got a 16.
Okay. Mercifully, it is smart enough to duck and sort of contort itself into the room properly. It, with relative ease, picks up the containment field box. It's very hard to cylinder. The containment device that Eamon provided yesterday, so effortlessly. And it bends low and almost sort of scuttles its way out of your room with the device in hand, standing its full length and almost hitting the ceiling. Almost. It's clasped within its very disconcertingly large hands.
Well, we got what we came for. Shall we commence our journey?
Everybody roll a perception check.
12.
Natural 20, 25.
And nowhere?
Hold on. $14.
14. Okay. It takes you a moment to descend from the floors, from the floor that you're currently on. But as you do, nowhere and... Oh, no, I can't lose the name. Jovi. Nowhere and Jovi, you notice actually on the sleeve of this creature, in amidst the folds of this yellowish, greenish, very putrid, almost hazmat suit, question mark, there seems to be a note that is sewn to it. Well, not sewn, but stuck to it by some manner.
Jovi will look at it, try to read it, and then see if she can peel it off.
The note is infernal. The note is in infernal, and as you sort of peel it off, the Minotaur continues to descend down the stairs, doing as it is told, at which point, again, in infernal, you see the sort of haggard script of Bahazet. I hope you appreciate how difficult it was to procure him. Don't break it, please. And there is a brief pause in the note itself, sort of indicated by an ellipsis. I'm sure that Normand will be a fine pilot for you.
Norman, that's adorable. See, I thought you'd pissed him off when he'd given us this. Apparently, it's Bahazet went the extra mile for us. And she will pass Nowhere the note.
I give Jovi a sideways glance and say, "This is confirming my suspicions."
Nowhere taps her nose, or not Nowhere. Jovi taps her nose at Mercy. Sorry.
Now you're getting the names mixed up.
I read the note and then I fold it and I put it. Are there trash cans in the hallways?
There are indeed.
Is there recycling?
Why don't you just burn it?
Yes, there's recycling. I'll say.
And put it in the recycling.
I will say, yes, they are very eco-friendly here on the Rites.
Put it in the recycling. Well, Bahazet, as frustrating as he is endlessly, sometimes manages to do his job. We all have accidents during work, I suppose.
It's remarkably charitable of you, dear.
A loud whistle emanates from the hallways as you are approached by what seems to be a halfling gentleman. He's done up fairly plainly, a smart suit with kind of a jovial affectation to him. He waves a fairly muscled arm at you and smiles. Keeper Nowhere, right?
Yes, what?
I've been told that I'm supposed to be taking you from here across the sticks onto land.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah, you the ferryman?
Huh?
Are
Are you Normand?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, all right. All right. So I can keep calling you Muffin then. All right. And she taps the Minotaur's head.
I'm sorry, pardon? I'm kind of hard of hearing.
It's nice to
That's
meet you,
okay,
Normand.
Norman. I think we're gonna be great friends.
What?
Let's-
He kind of like...
Let's just go.
Jovi does a let's go sort of motion with her.
Nowhere is looking
Oh,
very
good.
frustrated at all of this yelling. I'm just like,
The Minotaur actually takes a place behind you and sort of lumbers above you.
behind me.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that I might be able to get used to this. It's quite nice, a comforting presence.
I suppose that's a word for it.
You feel, as you say this, you feel just a puff of breath unmotivated by actual lungs just sort of escape the snout of this creature.
This is my day is just getting weirder and weirder. A river of dead people to the burning plains of Fireland.
Mercy, that is exaggeration and creative license description. It's not always a river of dead people.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a river that a lot of people die in. In
Is
fact,
is it on fire in the elemental plane of fire? Is it like a fire river of lava?
what do you think? He kind of makes his way outside the boat, beckoning each of you to follow.
Hey guys, the floor is lava, and then I run.
She just parkours around.
Wait, is the floor lava?
Not at
Oh,
the
the
moment.
boat!
You are still aboard the Rites. You are perfectly fine.
Is the floor lava?
Jovi follows Mercy out and looks out at what they're looking forward to today.
All right. The Minotaur follows suit, and as you go to the exterior of the final Rites, finally, Nowhere, you are familiar with this portion of the ship. Jovi, you sort of milled about here a long time ago, but with Hamish's business really kicking up and a lot of these other sort of things grabbing your attention, you're not exactly in tune with the glorious balconies and sort of vistas that are available. Mercy, roll a d20 again for me.
Gotcha. That's a 7.
7 is odd, meaning you have never seen the outside of this ship. I will.
They don't let me out here very often. I can't think why.
Yeah, it's very, very confusing, disconcerting. It's very, very different. The construction of the ship is very foreign, I would say. Great pillars seem to crest next to each other, connected by an archway that is exquisitely crafted. Lanterns of paper, of steel, of many different constructions hang and otherwise droop across the length of the ship. As you actually attend to the space beyond the ship, however, an entirely different view appears. Whereas the previous land was barren and devoid of substance, the current vista before you is... There's a stereotypical version of the Nine Hells that many mortals have, of a pit of fire, of this never-ending and ceaseless discharge of heat and just terror. That description more aptly fits the elemental plane of fire, as indeed great mountains rise in the distance and are blasted by horrendous scorching winds that whirl and twirl about, desert sands that just stretch off into the ranges themselves. No vegetation grows here, and the air itself carries with it a terrible, terrible, oppressive heat. There is no sun, there is no necessity for it, as indeed, Mercy, per your presuppositions, the actual river Styx, now here as you lean over the side of the boat, now here represents a river of lava that's almost always on fire.
Fucking knew it.
Yeah, and it's it's as impressive as it is terrifying.
Told you guys. I knew it.
Right.
What kind of dinghy do we use for this?
A
Norman?
fireproof one.
Yep, that's about right. You hear as Norman begins to go to the ass end of the ship.
Oh, I mean, sure. Yeah, of course. We have those. Okay. And I follow him.
I like this new nautical direction. Ass end. It's good. I'll remember that one easier.
Yeah. I mean, they're... Pardon. Norman clears his throat. I mean, they're adaptive. It just takes a little bit of time, coordination with a couple of the keepers, mainly Eamon. But it's just one of those things.
Oh, sure,
Gotta
sure.
make sure that everything's working on time and working for whatever environment we find ourselves in, which is no small order. I can tell you that.
Oh, I believe
Is our
it.
dragon in one of those mountains?
Huh?
I was talking to the others.
What?
What was your question?
Is our dragon in one of them mountains?
He's at yes, he's at fuck, do we know where this fucking dragon is?
Feel about a plate of fire. He's somewhere.
I mean,
That
I
was-
feel
that was
like
always-
Eamon told us a place to meet him.
Yes.
I
Let me
forgot
check
what
my
it was.
notes.
Everybody make a history check.
Oh, I'm just gonna check my notes. And I
Or
bet they're in
9.
there.
Yeah.
Nope, I didn't. Damn it.
6.
No worries. No worries.
Okay, history. 25.
25.
Hey,
No.
you may as well have written it down in your notes.
Yeah, exactly. So I will say, just again for the sake of brevity, with the device during your morning routine when you were air drying
When
your
I was
moisturizer,
T-posing.
when you were T-posing, you did see, and it did slightly annoy you, that there was a note from Eamon that was attached to the inside of the machine that you had previously missed. As you reached for it, it described the general location of the young red dragon known as Zarakel. He also indicated a few notable things, mainly that given the passage of time, it was likely that his father, an ancient red dragon, like very venerated and very respected, might have actually passed on. It's a possibility, but not really sure. But also that he is actually one of two. They're twin dragons. There is, of course, Zarakel, the one you must speak to concerning the possession of the crystal, and another by the name of Kelzara. I'll type that in just to make it nice and easy for everybody. Who, according to Eamon, was not all that hospitable. Not explicitly, shall we say, combative, but very disagreeable with most people, at least by Eamon's standards. As you continue toward the back of the ship, you see these sort of very oddly constructed ships. Seem to be metal on the bottom and fire retardant material that coats the sides in order to ensure safe passage, and a small cover, actually, that seems to be of a similar fabric to your dress. Nowhere. A fireproof blanket, tarp, it's hard to define it, but something that should fire fall from the sky, as is wont to do in the elemental plane of fire, you won't be incinerated upon impact.
So bare minimum expectation.
These are lifeboats. Like these are not the sort of luxury experience offered by the final rites. Indeed, as you get to the back of the ship, to the great chimneys and various engines that even through the dampening sort of effects that Aben has concerning the rattling of these great machines, there still is that slight rumble, and indeed the Minotaur looks to one of the chimneys for a moment and just pauses as it holds the device closer to its chest. There's a semblance that well, it's hard to gauge without an insight check, but if anybody's interested, you can go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Well, I suspect that Jovi's been, for whatever reason, aesthetically
24.
fascinated. She's probably watching.
All right, so 24 from nowhere.
21.
You both get the sense. Oh, Mercy, have you decided to
I
join?
just got my natural 20.
Yay!
So all three of you know.
You know so much about zombies.
Yeah. Even though you may not know particularly much about this one, you get the sense that its function has been recoded, and now that it's away from its original function, it's sort of getting a glimmer that it's supposed to be assisting in the operation of the ship rather than for this thing. Mercy specifically, you note that it's kind of longing to get back to work instead of on this mad excursion. It's almost the opposite problem of you, where you would rather be anywhere but this ship at the moment. It would rather be here aboard the Rites.
Okay. I'll keep that to myself.
Of course. Norman kind of smirks and motions the rest of you to board this rickety little raft that is currently attended to.
Okay, well, yeah, sure, and I happily bounce into it. You guys coming?
Jovi hesitates on the dock for a minute and just kind of has a similar look on her face as that Minotaur zombie. Takes a deep breath, glances back at the Rites, and steps into the boat.
Yeah, I get in as well.
Yeah. The Minotaur itself kind of looks to you and similarly gets aboard the ship itself. And while it is not exactly the most visually appealing, it is definitely well constructed, as it does not even buckle under the weight of the Minotaur and the device it carries. With practiced efficiency, Norman ties off the lifeboat and releases it into the water. With a gradual descent, you are able to dip into the lava-filled waters of the river Styx, and I would like you all to roll a Constitution check.
5.
14.
12.
5, 14, and 12. Good thing you all have heat resistance. Ahem. Right. Anybody who rolled below an 11, you only take 4 points of fire damage.
Yay!
Anybody who rolled above an 11 takes 4. Anybody who rolled below takes 7.
Ah,
Oh.
less
Aw.
yay.
4 points.
Yes, 4 points. And this is fire damage specifically, as indeed there seems to be a errant bubble that was burst by your impact onto the Styx, gentle
And
though it
this-
was.
This is already halved for resistance, right?
Or are we having that for ourselves?
Yeah, we're
Oh, okay, good.
yeah, have it for yourselves. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be 2 and I think 4, like regardless. So no worries.
Okay.
Norman kind of seems aghast and clears his throat again before taking up the oars of this lifeboat and allowing his full physicality to sort of show. Even through the very prim and proper suit, you see his shoulder muscles ripple as he pours his way through the very unviscous surface of this this river. You get the sense that he's done this many, many times before. He's practiced and well seasoned. As you continue along, you get the sense of the meeting place that Eamon had described for Zorakel and Kelzara, as one of the great mountains in the distance does shine with sort of a dull, almost copper or bronze-ish luster, at least through the red sands that kind of permeate your vision. Strangely enough, you do note that none of the particles actually overtake the river Styx. It seems that even the plane itself understands the unfortunate importance of this particular place. As you continue along, Normand kind of cracks his neck and continues rowing, leaving the rest of you to strategize for but a moment, if you would so desire.
I believe that I should do the talking when we encounter Zarkel.
Yeah, sure.
No
By all
arguments
means.
here.
Well,
Do you
that was
speak?
decidedly easy.
Do you speak?
I mean, you'd be the first
Draconic?
one to.
Yes, I do. I speak many languages.
Oh, I didn't doubt that, dear.
I mean, you'll be the first one to get blasted with fiery breath if he doesn't like what we're saying. So sure, go for it.
I sense that you are joking, but
Oh no, I'm serious.
It's one of those rare cases where those two aren't mutually exclusive.
none of us will be blasted with fire today. If we are not able to make a bargain with Zarkael to get this new crystal, there's no reason for him to become so upset with us that he tries to end our lives. We do have other options. We are not desperate
Yet. When Nowhere says we will not, none of us will be blasted with fire today, Jovi just lifts a tapered hand and wraps all 6 of her finger knuckles on the side of the boat.
And
You
indeed,
have 6 fingers?
I have 6 fingers on both hands.
Where's the 6th one?
It's just an extra finger.
But I mean, like, where is it?
Probably on this side. Like the pinky shifts over and there's an extra one?
There's an A between the ring finger and the pinky?
Sure.
It's her second ring finger.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the length? Does it still follow the similar?
I
descent
imagined
pattern of
it
fingers?
follows the same sort of like arc.
Or is it like your fingers where the ring finger and the middle finger are quite similar?
I don't know.
Is it like more like yours or like more like mine where my ring finger's much shorter than my middle finger?
I
have
imagine
not
all of this is
thought
in
that
character.
through in her backstory, but I will consider
It's
it.
so important!
I will include it in her world anvil bio.
Thank
Of
you.
the actual
Yes.
like in centimeters and inches of her fingers.
Customary and metric accounted for. We are nothing if not thorough here at the final rites. We thank you so much. All right. I just imagine that all in character. Just Nowhere. You have 6 fingers? All right.
Quick, let me get my measurement
Nowhere's
tools
like,
out.
Nowhere's like, you have 6 fingers. I wasn't aware. I must update your profile in my book. I like to keep an up-to-date accounting of all of the peculiarities of those aboard the final rites in all of its forms.
Wait. Do you have any written down for me?
Yes.
Which ones? What are they?
I believe it would be unprofessional for me to share that information with you.
It's bad, isn't it?
Nothing.
Morpheus thinks about it.
I do not write any of my own, although they are fleeting, emotional attachments or.
Wait, you have emotions?
Oh, you have attachment to her.
Neither of those things are true or what I was saying.
Wait. What peculiarities have you written down about that?
That would be incredibly unprofessional for me to share.
Is that why you're grinning so much?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Another cold breath emanates from the Minotaur that is situated right behind you. Nowhere.
I do like that we all thought that the zombie minotaur was like the good deed that Bahazet had done for us.
Yeah.
Hey, I fully imagine that Bahazet is somehow his eyes now.
Wait, say again. You kind of cut out
last
there.
bit, Rachel?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if Bahazet was watching through the eyes of his zombie friend and knows everything.
Oh my gosh!
Bahazet breathing down your neck. No.
Hey,
Just to make this creepier.
Nowhere that's kind of hot, right?
Everything's a little hot right now, actually,
Well, now that we have agreed that I will be the one speaking to Zarkel, I don't see that there is any more need for conversation. We've figured it all out.
Wow.
How close are we to the bank?
I'm working on it. You hear Norman kind of struggle as he continues to row ridiculously. It takes about another 15 minutes. This is an upstream thing, and even though Normand is practiced, practice only makes close to perfect. And as
law.
Yeah, and as he continues aboard, I would like everyone just really quickly to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh. Okay, that is 15.
13.
14.
Okay, good. Nobody rolled below a 10. So the boat itself scrapes across a sort of sanded bank. You get the impression that Normand was aiming for the proper sandbank, but unfortunately had to angle it a little bit to avoid some more rough lava waters.
Rough lava waves.
Rough lava waves, yeah. And subsequently, there were a few rocks that he kind of scraped against. Luckily, the metal of the hull is more sturdy than the rocks, and it crumbled under the weight. However, it was a little jarring. The Minotaur, your friend, makes the save perfectly fine as well. Yeah.
Pops off into the lava. You get a Terminator 2 thumbs up from the Minotaur, and we never see him again.
No. Stays perfectly grounded in the boat itself. Norman takes a little while to actually angle the boat properly with the oars that he has. It's like a what's that move? A three-way turn when you're trying to park.
A K-turn?
Parallel park.
Yeah, parallel parking.
Like sort of like that. And as soon as he does that, he goes to the side that is situated against the shore, knocks on a few specific notches on the side of the hull, on the railing of the hull, and it quite unceremoniously folds out and creates a bit of a triangular walkway by which you might go ashore.
Rad. Mercy kind of skitters to this little gangplank, and then ever so gingerly is just gonna like touch the tip of her kind of sandal toe things into the sand just to see if it instantly burns her toe off.
Luckily, no. It is a little bit hot. It's as if, and I'm going to use real parallels here because I can't think of anything else. You know, like beaches on a very, very hot day, like beaches at like 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Really hot and it hurts, and you got to run really fast.
Please remember, I'm from Britain where it always rains when I go to the beach.
Okay.
So you've never experienced hot sand?
Yeah, I have, but more frequently it's hot.
Yeah, that's kind of hot, damp sand. No dampness here. Imagine sand without the dampness. And
sand.
And yeah, sand without the dampness is just sand. And also it's hot. It's hot sand. I'm a genius.
Hey guys, come right in. The sand's fine.
Can we see final rites from here?
Yes. Fortunately, you do see that it is still clearly there. Normand actually kind of looks to you as you look back and hands off fantasy flare gun, and
Yeah.
gives it to you.
A single-use wand of magic missile. Fantasy flare.
Yes, a single-use wand of impotent magic missile.
Flare. Yeah, it's flare.
He sort of smirks and smiles. If you want to make it easy on me, you can go ahead and go down a little bit further, that a ways, where the final rites is headed. We should be docking there, so you might even be able to come aboard yourselves.
We will. And Mercy turns back to the boat and holds out a hand to Jovi to help her to the shore. And like her eyes so wide, and she looks happier than she has done since like you've ever known her.
Despite
and her tail is going like this, like a really excited cat.
Despite her hesitance and sort of wariness, that look on Mercy's face kind of melts Jovi's heart a little bit. She'll take her hand and let her lead her off the boat.
Nowhere, you are stuck with the Minotaur.
Stuck with Cupcake. Is it cupcake or muffin?
Muffin cake.
Muffin cake. I will disembark and I will turn to the zombie and I will say, "Yip, yip. Do you have a command word? Is it come here?"
Make an Arcana check.
Sounds like the most horrific Last Airbender fan art I've ever imagined.
It's okay, Alpha. You died, but we brought you back.
Zombie opera. That's a crossover I don't want to see. I do not want to see a Last Airbender Pet Cemetery crossover.
This is in the parts of Ba Sing Se that there is a war.
The last pet bender.
The last pet bender. Can you imagine someone like walking into a room and all your pets just like float into the air?
It's just bloodbending,
He's just
but
like
only
throwing cats at someone who's trying to like guitar with like a basket full of puppies that she's just like
Come back. This is
come play in the space Jason has built for us, not the one we're forging with a jackhammer.
Oh my god, what did you roll?
I don't even remember. I think it was either a 12 or a 16.
But good enough in either case. All right. You note that these these zombies respond to simple commands. If you had the time, you could potentially spend a little bit of effort in reorienting its sort of behavioral patterns via intense magical meditation or whatnot. But as it stands, long as you say a simple command, it will follow. As you note that it is, or at least seems to be, attuned to the task at hand.
Okie dokie. I get out and I follow. I walk abreast of Mercy and Jovi.
And the minute... Okay, are we going to give it a name?
I was just making a stud muffin
Beef
joke. We don't have to
muffin.
call him that.
All right, so we've got...
Cupcake beef muffin?
Cup
muffin beef cake?
Zombator.
Until such time as we have a name, he shall be known.
Zombie beefcake!
Zombie beefcake.
Zom for short. So Zom follows y'all
Sure.
perfectly well and perfectly in step with each of you. As you make it away from the river Styx, the winds kind of intensify and the red sands of the elemental plane of fire whip back and forth. I'd like each of you to roll a survival check.
Oof. I don't know what I'm like on this one. That's not awful.
I'm good
Well,
at this
it
one
is now.
too. 8.
Also 8.
Nowhere, dare I ask?
17.
All right.
Damn.
So, Nowhere is leading the group quite expediently along the assumed path to
Zarakel?
Zarakel's, excuse me,
Hey.
to Zarakel's residence. Jovi, Mercy, you're
Fucking hot.
yeah, you're following as best you can, but as you so eloquently put, it's fucking hot here. Like it's very distracting. There's a lot of stuff going into your eyes. Mercy, that initial joy that you might have had, I don't know if it's been dampened by the fact that you've been blasted with what's the equivalent of hot gravel for the last.
I'm sure it's not all like this. I've known some fiery things very.
Yeah, sure. Yes, obviously. There's soft fire everywhere, just not here, as you feel yet another sort of barrage of gravel batter your back now. It usually been focusing on the sides, but now it's decided to shift, apparently.
Hey, but guys, this is great. It'll help us go along, right? It's so things.
Are you two struggling to keep up?
Only a bit.
No,
I'm just following your expert directions.
we can go faster.
No.
Do you want to go faster? We can go faster.
I don't have anything that'll be useful. Would you like me to ask Zombeefcake to carry you? I'm sure that he would be
Yes,
able to
please.
do both.
Not really. Can't we
Yes, please.
Can't we just try and run, and then we can get to the cave, and the cave will shelter gravel wind?
Yes, but you are the one. You are being slow. Why do you think running would be any easier for you?
Well, it's like when they say, right? If you run in the rain, you get than if you walk in the rain. Right? I'm sure that works with gravel storms too.
I've never heard that expression.
I mean, they used to say it in Waterdeep a lot, and it did rain quite often.
While they're talking, Jovi is walking up to the Minotaur and trying to assess how he could carry her right now.
Oh, it's
Maybe
gonna be like fireman style.
Like Fireman said, okay, because I'm Princess Carrie, I could be a backpack.
He already has a backpack. He has a backpack on already.
All right.
He could bridal style carry you.
You actually see throughout the proceedings, because the GM actually forgot he made a backpack out of the damn device, you see the Minotaur look at the straps and slowly, very deliberately piece together the fact that he can put it on his back, at which point you see a bit of his arms immediately go like noodles. It's almost as if the muscles beneath the suit are liquefied.
And he can he in his rubber suit, his rubber suit, he's basically a balloon.
So we're wrong, he's actually a beef packet.
He's more like a beef packet. He's more like one of those jellies that you know that's full of electrolytes that you slurp up after the gym. Can he make parts of his body rigid, you know?
Oh,
I don't like this.
Can he if he wanted to do an attack, make it so his arm is less juicy and more jelly?
I don't know. I think
these are really upsetting logistical questions.
Don't say
I think it hurts to be. Doesn't it hurt more if you're hit by a wet towel?
I was gonna say, what if he just slaps you with his whole jelly arm and it's just being hit with rubber, but there's all that liquid power behind it. The slosh factor alone.
Also,
man, the Foley work on that attack.
Also, Jason, can I? This is a stretch, right? This is a reach. Can I use deflect?
Really?
Can I use deflect missiles on the
gravel star
with my meteor hammer,
a
just
lot of
spinning,
just Matrix style.
Okay, addressing each in turn. It's sort of like that, yes, or at least you get the sense. There is like a skeletal structure that this Minotaur has. You don't think that the suit is holding everything in. You get the sense that whatever is beneath the skin and not bone might be liquefied muscle.
Okay, so important question. This is going to
Yes.
seem like a not important question, but it actually is. If his
Of course.
suit gets punctured, he's not going to start to leak out.
No.
Okay.
We're fine.
That was a worry. I can fully understand how that was a worry. No.
Okay.
Now, in terms of your question, Mercy, it's not an entirely stupid question. I will say this. If you deflect every single missile, or if you keep that up, you will, by the time that you get to the cave, take at least 1 point of exhaustion.
Exhaustion is just ability checks, right?
That is
First
correct.
point.
That is correct.
Oh my god.
However, you will not be subject to maybe future constitution checks that I'll have the others make.
Yeah, let's do it. And I'm basically using my meteor hammer like a propeller blade in front of me.
Yes. So I'll say this. You definitely yes. You'll take 1 point of exhaustion if you keep this up going into the cave for the entire length of the trip. But you will not have to be subject to constitution checks for damage. It's only to see if this exhausts you even further.
Okay.
All right. With that, actually, can Nowhere and Jovi please roll me a constitution check?
18.
Constitution. Check. Constitution.
It's my best
Check.
ability score.
6.
Okay. So, Nowhere, you take the full 3 points of bludgeoning damage as the debris has sort of just been smacking you around throughout this whole trip. And Jovi, what was yours again?
18.
Oh, yeah. No, you take 2 points? 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning.
Yep. But the wind lets up for but a moment. And you see that at your current pace, you might be able to get to the cave by nightfall. Whatever nightfall is in the elemental plane of fire.
We have a watch on us that tells us final rites time, so we have approximate.
I'll make it
knowledge
even
of what
better.
time
The
it is.
flare gun comes with a watch.
Hey.
They call it the rights time.
Hey.
Boo. But yes.
All right. So, again, at the current, supposing that Zorakel and Kelzara are creatures of habit and inhabit the den of their father, you'll be in that cave by nightfall.
Nice.
Jovi does at one point attempt to see if Zom can fireman carry.
Make an animal handling check.
You got
Goes on
this.
beef.
I rolled a nat one.
Oh no!
3 total.
He's gonna pop you.
We're gonna get noodle armed.
Oh,
No.
just like
You're gonna squeeze him too hard and pop him.
he's like a Stretch Armstrong.
That's not... Okay, so Zom...
If you pop him, I'm gonna be so mad. And Bahazet will never let me live it down. If anything happens to this stupid thing while we're gone, it's gonna be endless harassment.
This is why we need a union, guys. I've been saying it day one.
I am so happy at the fact that Mercy is literally going to bring up the union every episode. There are lots of reasons to unionize, and I'm sure one will come up every.
I think the final
So
rites.
yes,
There's a
natural one.
union on the final rites.
Total of 2, or total of 3, if that means anything.
All right. This hurts. This hurts so much.
Not as much as whatever's about to happen to me.
Zom Beefcake, I think we named him, right? So he kind of misinterprets what exactly you were trying to mime or otherwise communicate, and it interprets.
On his shoulder.
Yeah, it interprets that you want it to jump or otherwise like move itself vertically, and so it uses. It's a very strange sensation at the start. So it's sort of like if one of those gel packets had like bones inside of it, and it sort of drapes across your shoulder and then immediately hardens into like a like muscle man's like physique and pushes you down as it attempts to jump.
Oh god.
It's the most disturbing, it's certifiably one of the most disturbing things that Jovi has ever experienced. And with it, as you actually dig into the ground itself, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
A 22.
It's a little problematic because as your foot pierces the earth, you kind of tumble out of the way and the Minotaur slightly shambles a little bit, disturbing the dirt that you had originally disturbed even more. And actually, a small dune forms in the wind's catch as suddenly there seems to be a crystal of some description buried within the sands.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's pulsating, glowing, and rapidly vibrating.
Did I do it? Did I find it?
Wait, did you find what? What have you found?
What is going on? Why are you on the ground?
Why are you in the ground?
It's fun. And she's just like trying to pull her shoe out of the sand. No, I think there's a crystal here. Maybe that's what kind of thing we're looking for. They're just under the ground, you know, like
Potatoes.
I was gonna say carrot, sure.
It's carrot day.
What we need?
Oh,
It is
it's carrot
carrot day,
day
yeah.
back on the final rites.
I will dash over to see if this crystal is like the kind of.
Jovi
Is
is
it?
also looking down at the crystal, trying to.
But don't touch it, because if I recall the device that Zom Beefcake has here, I believe it was given to us because there may be some danger in directly handling the crystals. I cannot be bothered to recall.
Why is
Okay.
it flashing faster and faster?
Mercy, make an Arcana check.
18.
Oh, you've seen these before. Kata showed you some of these. This is a fire elemental focus. It's what adult fire elementals or you know, fire elementals of an advanced age expel from their bodies sometimes. It's this really interesting process by which portions of their actual flame bodies crystallize and otherwise like bury themselves into the sand after being ejected by a massive explosion as the elemental grows in size because, well, of course, of its advanced age. And when it's pulsating, you know exactly that the quicker the pulsations actually come, the higher the likelihood that a new fire elemental will appear.
Ha! We're going now. Come on, Jovi. And I grab Jovi.
Oh, okay.
At which point you... everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Kind of blind. Okay, that's 21.
17.
I'm sorry, I'm in so many tabs right now. Dexterity saving throw.
Yes. Dexterity.
20!
Hey.
Alrighty. Congrats, everyone. You only take...
Mm.
Cool. Y'all are welcome.
What can I say except...
Alright, so halved for everything due to your fire resistance and due to your successful saving throws. You only take 3 points of fire damage.
Hey!
Acceptable.
Acceptable!
Perfectly acceptable!
1,000 years fire elemental play.
Okay, we're going now, guys. This thing's gonna blow. We can't stay here.
No argument.
As soon as you do, unfortunately, you are a bit late in your pronouncing.
Uh-oh.
Yes. The fire elemental erupts from this crystal in a flash. It's small, not very threatening, and actually kind of cute if you think about it. The explosion it gave off was tremendous, but it actually seems to be kind of almost up to your kneecaps. Nothing too threatening. Until you note in other deposits around this general vicinity, slight pops going off beneath the sand.
We gotta run, guys! Let's run to the mountain!
You would run, of course, were it not in sort of a circular formation. In front of you, you see similar pops of glass and sand being cast off, and small fire elementals, about 10 in number, begin to crawl from the sands.
Guys, this is totally fine. I think I know one. And we can just talk this through. Like, come back to our place. We have some great drinks. We have fire whiskey. I bet you like that. Although you're probably underage right now. Oh shit. Nowhere, can you take over?
Nowhere seems stunned. But
No, Jovi starts rooting around in her bag, like prepared to pull something out if she has to.
Can't serve drinks to children.
I wasn't planning on serving drinks. So, Nowhere, you wanted to volunteer to speak to the dragon. How about you speak to our 10 or so young fire elemental friends in a circular position all around us right now?
Okay. What language do they speak? Are they speaking right now?
they are not. And they actually seem to be looking at each of you very blankly, such as elementals have eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I goofed. Hold on, and I repeat what I just said in Primordial.
Make a persuasion check.
What language did you try before? Infernal?
I was just speaking properly in...
Okay.
That is a 17.
To a thinking entity, to one that understands Primordial, I'm sure that message would have gotten through marvelously. As these are newborns, they just sort of look to you, and you do remember one of the faults that Kata mentioned, specifically about fire elementals. More specifically about baby fire elementals. They are infinitely curious. And in their curiosity, well, by your studies, you understand. In order to be examined, analyzed, and understood, for fire elementals, it must be destroyed. With a brilliant lurch, each fire elemental swarms the group. And with this final shocking image, we unfortunately must adjourn for this session.
Oh God.
Say not.
I don't know
they
that I
have
can
fun.
kill babies. You want us to kill babies?
I'm sure
Think of them
nowhere
as
fine with
babies.
that.
Think of them as fire elemental larvae.
Think of them as magpies.
The hell? They
We're
exploded.
surrounded by Charmanders.
That's not any
That's
better. That's worse.
Exactly.
Larva.
We need to
Larva.
capture them all and make them our fighting animals.
New game. We're just playing Pokemon.
With every creature we meet.
Ultra
Gotta catch that.
I
Then we can
you've
do
already
we
got-
can do a cross campaign reference with my Ice Age role playing game, Tooth Talk.
I mean, you've already got an undead. You've already got an undead. Good.
God. Well.
Oh God. Okay. I thank you all for watching. Most
Yes, thank
sincerely,
you.
I do. No, in all seriousness, I know that we've had hell of a lot of fun here.
We've had fun. I don't know about you.
Fair enough. But we had a hell of a lot of fun here, and we thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. This is what you miss when you don't catch us live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. CST and all the other relevant time zones. So, if you can, swing on by. We'd love to have you. But we thank you so much for watching, and we thank you all so much for participating in this maddening venture. Go ahead and go around. Let's go in the same order that we were at the beginning. Heavenly, go ahead. Tell us what you thought, what you think. How are you doing? What you got on for the day? In terms of.
Well, it's National
whatnot.
Cheese Day, so I was gonna go eat some cheese.
Oh yeah.
And I was gonna have some chicken wings, and
You're very different than Nowhere.
I have an anti self-care routine, which is where I just harm myself by eating food. I just slather barbecue sauce on my face, and I'm like,
You slowly peel it off. That's your favorite.
My anti self-care routine is an hour and 17 minutes, and I just, throw sand in my face, and I just eat as much ice cream until I feel sick, and then I, classic. What were we talking about? Yes, my name is Heavenly. You can find me on Twitter at that is my real name, but no A and that because there was not enough character space. So THT that. Get with the times. That's the lingo. You can find me. I do so much. You can find my Twitter. On my Twitter, there's like a little pinned tweet that'll tell you my schedule. I stream 4 to 5 times a week, depending on if it's an on week for the final rites. So I do lots of shows. But this Friday, I'm in a new show. It's the premiere of Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is going to be co-DM'd by Shane, which is Mage and Sage, and Grimjack. They will be co-DMing a Saltmarsh campaign on the Greyhawk channel. I'm super excited. I get to play 2 characters because we're alternating weeks, and I'm pretty stoked to kind of...
Are any of them aliens or octopi?
I think Rude, Alien or just Rude is a game you could play with Almira, who's my Dragonborn Ranger. Definitely my 16-year-old Warlock, who just recently signed a pact with the Undying Fiend because, Teenage Rebellion. She's probably just Rude.
You don't understand me. I'm gonna go.
You never know it. God, I hate you so much, Dad. And one of the other players is actually playing my dad, so I'm really excited to see
Awesome.
that.
That's fabulous.
I'm really
It's like
excited for that.
You're a warlock all of a sudden. What did you do?
He's like, why are you so moody? God, Dad, you don't understand me. Oh,
Only my patron can ground me.
what happened to my sweet baby girl? Oh, Dad, you're embarrassing me in front of the Undying Fiend.
But I'm so freaking excited about that.
So yeah, I'll stop talking now. I said a lot.
You did marvelous. Angela, what is going on?
Here, I'll rein us back in. I'm Angela. You can find me at darling_gypsum on Twitter. I will be here on the Nerdsmith channel again tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, for Shenanigoons. We will be continuing our absurd romp through a fantasy world in which Logan has decided to turn multiple characters into Marvel movie references. So I'm particularly looking forward to meeting back up with Ban Brucer and and other such ridiculous names. And yeah, so we're airing tonight, and then tomorrow night on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, we will be hosting our first of several Pride Month community one-shots. We are going to be playing a game with Zach, one of our DMs here on the channel. He's going to be running a game which I believe is tentatively called Gablin Special Ops. So I'm very much looking forward to it. We will be some of our proceeds from our bits and direct donations will be going to the Trevor Project. And so we will be, trying to raise a little money for a good cause and having a bunch of fun on each Wednesday of this month at 6 p.m. Pacific. So you should come check us out.
Fantastic. Rachel, round it out for us. Why not? Why not, indeed?
Of course, indeed you do. So yeah, I am Rachel. I am right now so tired with everything. Today was tons of fun. It seemed like every time we got sidetracked and started this terrible trend and like cycle of puns, I was like, surely that's it. That's the last pun. No.
Nope.
It just keeps happening, and I love it so much. It was such a great session. So you can find me on Twitter at Talent. I do a lot of art stuff. You can see I post about other tabletop RPGs that I'm getting involved with. On the other Tuesday that isn't this Tuesday, you can usually find me playing Witcher tabletop RPG with the wonderful Jason Nazar, DM yet again, GM I suppose, on Susanna Grace's channel. However, I won't be around next week because I'm on holiday next week. So hype. You can also find me on Thursdays on Encounter Roleplay, where I run a game for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition called Deck of Many Worlds. So that will be on this Thursday at 4 p.m. EST, I think. Yeah, pretty sure it's 4 p.m. And that's super fun. So come join in. Come join the show. Come be a character in this bastardized version of Waterdeep that I'm running. It's great. I think that's it for now.
Oh, marvelous. Wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Well, for my portion of it, I'm just Jason Please on Twitter, Jason Catrone in real life. And yeah, I'm honored to be the DM here. I'm also the DM as Rachel intoned for the sister show, the show that runs alternate to this one over on Susanna Grace's channel, Grains of Truth, a Witcher campaign from Artal Sorian.
Wow. That'd be crazy if they've actually taken place in the same universe.
Oh God, I veto that. At least for now. Mondays you can catch me on Encounter Roleplay as well as one of the players in the lovely Mutants and Masterminds Warhammer 40k homebrew known as Inquisitor. And on Thursdays you can find me over on Sam Webby's actual Twitch channel, RPG Webby on Twitter and twitch.tv/RPGWebby. Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones campaign known as After the Fire, which you've probably seen me scream about or probably seen my castmates scream about. It's a marvelous time. Not sure if we're going to be having a session this next Thursday, but nevertheless, we persist and continue to elate and annoy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much every plug. I got a pinned tweet if you want to see it. And yeah, I really did enjoy today. Like, this was fantastic on all fronts.
The only other thing to note is that since we are a bi-weekly show, the next episode will be 2 weeks from now on Tuesday the 18th.
Yes.
You can find updates and stuff on Twitter at Final Rites RPG. We'll post when we're about to stream. We'll be posting stuff in the interim to sort of give you fun things to look at. And I run the Twitter page, and all I do is retweet tieflings all day. So so it's at minimum a very fun stream if you just, or a Twitter channel if you like tieflings.
Yeah, it's a good feed to follow. So yeah, see you on hopefully the 18th, barring complication or disaster. Thank you all so much, and we'll be seeing you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.